Welcome back, everybody. 2021 season has arrived, and the race shop gets the first vid of the year. We are sending off a couple to the VANTASTIC Tournament 2021 going on down under at the Hot Car Track. We found a Dodge van. That's all it says on the pack. It looks like about a 94, 95 or something. Who knows? But it needs some weight, so we're going to add some lead. That's a big chunk of lead right there. And all we got to do is flatten that and start working with it. Poof! Look at that. All right, it's flat. Okay, now we kind of measure up the distance. Make a 90-degree corner. That's where you pretty much start when you want to start forming lead. Lead's easy to cut with a pair of snips, so you don't have to worry about grinding and getting all that stuff in there. They say lead is bad for you, so don't eat this stuff, kids. So, yep, just trim it up to shape. Nice little corner there. Always a good place to start. All you got to do is just pencil out your, pen out your little patterns on there, clip them out, drop it back in. All right, look at that. Got a floor plate. Carrying on, we want to get some weight on the front end. We're not going to be using the original pins, so we can get rid of them. You're able to Dremel that plastic right out of there. Get it right down. Then we're going to pop out these axles. The original ones are kind of crummy, so we're going to get rid of those. And just so we can keep the Matchbox Hot Wheels combo, we have a Matchbox Corvette that has the right size axles, and they're kind of sweet looking. We're going to clip those little guys out of there. We have a Hot Wheels with Matchbox wheels. That's why we're going to call this one the HOTMATCH. Look at that. Not too bad. Obviously, those wheels are way too big for those wells, so we are going to have to hog those babies out. Where we break out the Dremel. Make sure you get lots of practice with this. It takes a light touch. That bit will chew it out fast. Speaking of fast, let's get this over with. If you take your time with it, you don't get any coarse edges. Make it look nice and smooth. All right, look at that. You're going to do that all the way around 4 times. Open them all up. Make sure you keep checking them with the wheels you're going to be putting in there, and make sure you have the clearance. Just like that. All right. That's the height we're looking for. Now let's get these axles polished. This is such an important step, folks. If you haven't tried polishing axles before, try it. You will like it. Look at the spin. Oh, it goes forever. That's what you want. And there is a big difference between original and that. Next thing, we're going to open up the wells on the inside chassis. We're going to pull this back about 2 millimeters. Still enough to leave the original post to lock in the axle, but enough to give clearance for the bigger wheels and make sure nothing rubs. All right. Next thing, get rid of the rivet post. We're not going to be using that, so we need the room to add the extra weight. I trace out another chunk of lead here. Good way to get the basic shape of the bumper you want. Alright, we're going to clip that out and glue it in. Handy to have lots of clamps. We're using 2 part 5 minute meat grade epoxy to put this guy together. Speaking of the epoxy, when you're doing any of the flat surfaces, this is a very important step. Remember that you always mar up the surfaces. Scratch up both sides. There's the lead side. We'll go over to the chassis side and scratch up that as well. All right, that's what you want. That's going to make sure you get lots of edges for that glue to hold on to. You don't want it to let go. All right. We took a few of the extra chunks that we cut off and we're able to find some room inside there for it. And we're going to take the other chunk of flat that we have here and match it up on the bottom. Same idea. Get a basic shape, cut it out, and glue it in there. Same thing, make sure you scratch up the top, scratch up the surfaces, mar up the edges, and that's what you get so far. All right. Ran out of lead, so we're going to have to make some more. Or harvest some more. Bang! Look at that. And this, kids, is how you harvest lead. Oh, did you like them hammering skills? And there it is. Finish up on the bottom there. Nice leaded chunk there. Nice leaded chunk up on the top. Oh, there's some weight. Okay. Rear axle is clipped in. We put the original, sawed it off and dropped it in. This is another chunk of lead. We're going to epoxy in there. All of our other little slabs and pieces we had lying around. Got a nice big gap in the front end to fill. So we're going to epoxy all of that inside there. All right, there's what we got so far. Weight is nice and low and favored to the front. Look at how low that is. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at that. That's what you want. Moving on to the van body. This right here is our paint remover. It is called elbow grease. All right. Now take a wire brush and we're just going to rake down the side. I don't mind if the gray is still underneath it. It doesn't have to be completely off to get paint to adhere. We want to keep that front, the headlights and all that detail. We're going to mask that off. Get ourselves on a little stick, and there we go. We're going to go with the good old model paint here. This is Tester's Metallic Red. And sure you drain it off the brush as much. Only takes a couple of brushfuls to cover this whole van. Not set up for airbrush at this location, but you can still get a quality finish out of just using a brush. Yeah, look at that. Feels shiny, feels scratchy. Good enough to race. Oh yeah, look at that. We're going to get the black on the top to match the hot box, and the black stripe on the bottom to match the hot box. There we go. Look at that. Main color is a little bit off. Try and find that whatever pumpkin reddy orange that the hot box is. But that's what it looks like there so far. Nice. Moving on, let's see what it looks like on top of the chassis now. We've had to do a little bit of extra work. Right, it's got always got tweaked, and that's what we did there. Oh yeah. Now we're going to put it together. All right, we used epoxy, put it on each side, and then lowered it down. What we did was used these spacers that are just cut out pieces of card, and you kind of U-wrap them around the wheels there. And as you set the chassis down, so again, we just used epoxy, put it on the sides to keep it away from the front and the back. Good little gobs, and that's how you keep your space on your wheels. Then just throw a little bit of weight on top of that. Yeah, and let her set for a couple hours. Just like that. Even if it's 15 or half hour epoxy, give it a couple of hours to make sure. And there it is. That's our finished product right there. The HOTMATCH, sister ship to the Hot Box. That's one of the first race shop vids that we did. And you can see there, we had to make some modifications because it was too heavy in the rear end. So we ventilated it. Gave it a couple of little side windows, some rear windows, and chewed some of the lead out of from behind the back axle. Gave it a fresh coat of paint, and gave it a fresh coat on the wheels. So it is ready to go as well. HOTMATCH van started out at 39 grams. Does say 39 there. And it ended out at 91.2 grams. Not too shabby. Now let's go see how it does on the track. Coming around the corners, you can see it likes to keep that front end down and going straight. With some good speed. That's what we're looking for. So there you have it. The HOTMATCH van build and the Hot Box upgrade, both getting shipped off to the Hot Car Track for the Fantastic 2021 tournament. Thank y'all very much for watching. We'll see you next time.